Good morning, my friends. Sorry for the late start on the Growth Day morning show. Having technical issues, won't lie about that. Trying to stream into Facebook across, a couple dozen Facebook pages and groups. And as you know, we broadcast the Growth Day morning show here on Instagram, but also, across 10 or 12 different other pages. And right now,
that. It's probably because I'm about to get fired up today. It's probably because this is a good day to grow, and every day something that doesn't go right, you just got to keep showing up and trying. So I brought on the one and the only Jamie Kern Lima to the Growth Day Morning Show. What's up, Jamie?
Good morning. It's a great day to grow. We are keeping our momentum through Facebook tech issues.
Oh
and
my God.
Super excited.
You know what? I see people are joining us. Thank you. I guess someone's so nice. You broke the internet with greatness. Who said that? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Sarah, for supporting us.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. We broke it. It's so funny because it has become a thing where Jamie and I can't get into Facebook often through Restream or through StreamYard, and we've troubleshot, we've done everything. And every time I look at it, I get really disappointed and down because I know all these people are like, where are you? We need you guys. And I love this community. So I apologize for being late, but also for those who had to come over from Facebook. We love you all. Thank you for joining us today on the Growth Day Morning Show.
Yes. It's a great day to grow. Brendon and I are going to grow through some tech issues. Yeah, I see in the comments, growing pains. And then another one, you're always worth the wait.
Thank you guys. You know what? It's so hard. I mean, did anyone else get discouraged by tech issues? Like I used to be early in my career, tech issues would happen. I was going, some of you know, I've been doing live broadcasts since 2009. And something would go wrong and I would just lose my mind. There's this one time, Jamie, I was doing a webinar. It was critical to our business. It was growth. This was like the biggest show up we ever had for a webinar. It was like a big moment. And I'm at my house and we're doing it. And the internet crapped out or something happened with the webinar technology. I can't remember. And all of a sudden I had, thousands of people on this webinar and it died. It just went, and it froze. And I'm troubleshooting, trying to do everything. Nothing's happening. And this was going to make like our quarter. This is a big sale. For those who ever launched anything, it's like if it just doesn't work, it's the worst timing. And so I'm running around the house, insane, screaming for Denise. I'm like, are you on the internet? Are you on the internet? I'm losing my mind. And I'm so pissed. And we're trying to troubleshoot. And I was so angry. And I came back and I tried to figure things out, trying to refresh and everything. I got back in. 70% of the people were gone. And Jamie, I walk over to the other room and Denise is like up behind a couch, like trying to troubleshoot and do things. And she was just like, so like I was so insane, mad. I was like, I think I scared her. So I'm telling anyone, I don't know if any of you ever had tech issues. I'm happy now. I mean, that was, 10, 12 years ago. I'm happy now that when tech issues happen, I just feel bummed. And I'm like, okay, work through it and keep going. But back then, I either got angry or I stopped. And so today's session on Growth Day Morning Show is about momentum. And listen, if something doesn't work, Jamie was just like, we were both just cool hand Luke about the whole thing. It's like, okay, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. It's all we can do. So I hope that you all will face that in your own week this week. If something's discouraging, doesn't work, just find another way. Just keep going. Just still show up. Just still show up every day. Show up. Maybe it's not the way you want to do. Just keep showing up. What do you think about that, Jamie?
Yeah, I think it's so powerful because, I was thinking about this a lot this morning about momentum and about sometimes when things don't go well or feel like big setbacks or we fall off the diet or all the things, right? It's easy to then actually, the setback sometimes isn't even that thing that stops our momentum. It's all of a sudden the energy we give to that thing, or like us giving ourselves grace through that thing, us feeling like we failed in that thing, and all of a sudden that takes our energy, and that's what stops our momentum, right? Not the thing that actually happened. And I think like it's such an amazing live example of what you just shared, that in the past, tech issues would
I
have this
would
out.
lose my stuff. Jamie's probably never seen me angry before, and I was like, I would lose my stuff back in the day. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm happy about that, and we all have to figure that out. And I'm seeing so many comments, by the way, Jamie, of people saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm on the internet now, and this happens to me. I'm a virtual trainer now, and this is what I'm going through." So I think we all recognize this last year brought a lot of new tech learnings.
Yeah. Well, and I think that I don't know, I just think it's such another level of awareness too, with this idea of like, oh yeah, my growth can come from how I handle those things, and how I handle those things can be the impediment of momentum or not, right? It's not even
Yes.
the thing itself usually, right? It's like how we handle it. And I think that's huge, because so many times we think, oh, I don't know why I keep talking about the diet thing. I've actually been eating healthy this morning, finally, first time in weeks. But
Because you're home. Someone just commented, Jamie, they're like, from the background, it looks like you're finally home. So tell us about like that too. I'm sorry, like it's exciting that people are noticing like, oh, Jamie's finally home. She's been on the road for her book
well,
launch and she's finally home.
so it has been, I mean, so it was 21 days in a hotel. I how many dozens and dozens and dozens of press interviews for the book, which is such a blessing. You guys, we always talk in Growth Day Morning Show about the beauty of when we're starting something or starting small or whatever. I know from my decade experience building a company, I know how hard it was to ever get one press interview, like one little mention in an article. It was so hard. And if we got one every 6 months or a year, it was like a huge deal. So because I remember those days, I was better able in the past 3 weeks in the hotel to have this perspective of, oh, wow, like, I know how hard it was to get one. So the fact that there's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens, like, I know what a blessing that is. So it helped me get through and not feel tired or overwhelmed or whatever, just that perspective too. But yeah, it was 3 weeks in a hotel, dozens and dozens of press interviews, 15 Growth Day morning shows, two live,
Wow.
yeah, 2 live events, and 6 QVC shows, and then the book launch itself, all that kind of stuff. And so, but here's the thing: those freaking cookies, those cookies that had the book cover and quotes from the book, they weren't just really pretty. They were so good. And that day when we were talking about, is it weird to eat your face or whatever? Here's the downside: is there was plenty of cookies that didn't have my face on it, and they were super good. And so anyways, 3 weeks of eating, hotel food and cookies is super fun, but also it's really nice to be home and
Yeah.
and look at the NutriBullet, which I did travel with the NutriBullet, by the way, and I did not use the NutriBullet the
I
whole
was just saying,
thing.
it probably didn't come out. It didn't come out of the bag.
I even have, this is so embarrassing, but listen, I'm just going to share it because momentum, right? Sometimes we have big pauses in momentum in some areas. And the old Jamie would be here today kind of beating myself up going, I had frozen spinach in the little fridge in the hotel. I had all the stuff and I still ate the cookies. And today I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let me show up less than I wanted to in areas for a season. I'm not going to give my energy to that feeling like I failed, or which I could easily feel that way, or all
Yeah.
these things. I don't, because that energy we attach and how we see mistakes we made or things we didn't show up for the right way, that energy can stop our momentum. You know what I mean? And just how we show up. So I'm grateful to be home.
Annabelle's like, you deserve the cookies. I mean, listen,
They were good.
sometimes
They
I'm
were
watching you
so
guys on
good.
the comments. You guys are killing the comments today. If you're new to the Growth Day Morning Show, make sure you let us know in the comments down below. I'm reading them. I'm laughing so hard for some of these, Jamie. They're so good. They're so good. Hey, if you're new to the Growth Day Morning Show, this is me and Jamie Kern Lima. We come together to spread some encouragement, some positivity, to give you a little bit of boost of just motivation and joy to go start your day and go crush your day. Because, we always say with Growth Day, every day is a great day to grow, but we really mean it. Like every day, there's going to be a struggle. every day there's going to be a challenge. Today was technology. Sometimes it's you ate the cookies. Sometimes the book thing doesn't go right. Sometimes you're trying to get new clients and they're like, who are you? Like, there's always going to be something to discourage you. And I always tell people think momentum is about your calendar, or momentum is about time management. Momentum is entirely about emotional energy management.
Yes.
It's what do you do when things get hard emotionally? What do you do when things break, don't go well, are challenging, are difficult? What do you do during those times? Do you align back with the best of who you are? Do you have faith? Do you summon your courage? Do you take a step forward anyway, even though it's hesitant? Do you, or do you blame other people, say it's unfair, say that it's right for other people or it's easy for other people, and look at them and, cast it off as some kind of like luck, grace, privilege to other people that in reality, it's like, no, you're sucking wind because you're not managing your emotions, or more importantly, most people just have never learned to. And so it's not a diss to anybody. Most people, we do a terrible job in the educational system of teaching people mental health and teaching people emotional mastery. I think this is what we've seen on Growth Day. Yesterday, I got to tell you guys the story. Jamie, you're going to love this. So Lisa came on yesterday. So for those who don't know what Growth Day is live weekly training with the world's best personal development coaches. And yesterday, I surprised our community, our members only. So if you're not a members only, you have to actually sign up for it at growthday.com. But I surprised them with Lisa Bilyeu, co-founder of Quest Nutrition, co-founder of Impact Theory, the host of Women of Impact. She comes on, Jamie, smashes. She is emotionally passionate. She's just doing her thing. Maybe about 20, 30 minutes in, she forgets where she's going. Just full on blank, where what she was talking about, what the topic was, just completely. And she goes, Brendon, are you still there? I forgot what I was talking about. Can you guys chat and share with me what was my point? What was I talking about? It was so awesome and real. And later, Alexis, one of our Growth Day members, asked her, what was in your mind when that happened? Because most people, that would be terrifying, right? Imagine you being broadcast to thousands and thousands of customers and you forget everything what you were talking about, which I'm sure we can all imagine. But she says, well, how did you get through it? And Elisa said, well, I don't expect to be perfect. And when you get stuck, ask for help. So I just asked you guys for help, and I asked Brendon for help. And it was so obvious, but also like you can see how that is an emotional response to an unknown where you're embarrassed or you're uncertain. And instead of saying, oh, I'm awful, and shut down more, which is what most people do. When struggle happens, people tend to shut down more. But emotionally resilient people actually open up more and ask for help. And don't expect themselves to be perfect, and give themselves grace, and then continue on. That's momentum, guys. It's emotional mastery. Lisa wowed us yesterday, by the way. So shout out to Lisa Bilyeu. She just absolutely destroyed it. She was so good.
The power of that, the power of her not feeling like she has to show up perfect too, and also being willing to ask for help. Those two things, that famous saying,
wow.
We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. And she's clearly done the emotional resiliency work of being able to not attach perfection or imperfection as failure, right? And so she's then showing up and asking for help and then not beating herself up over something. I think that's really powerful. And I think it speaks to everything we're talking about with momentum, right? Which is sometimes it's not that she lost her train of thought mid-live. Like, it's actually that she didn't lose momentum because of the meaning she attached to that, right? And the energy she didn't give that, and the freedom she felt to show up imperfectly, and the freedom she felt to ask for help. Like, that's massive. Like, what I love is I have no doubt she crushed it, because she's one of the most incredible women who has also run a billion-dollar company, all kinds of things. But for her to teach that live lesson without knowing that was going to happen is huge, because every one of us every day in life have things that are setbacks or this or that. And I just still think this idea with how do you not let them impact your momentum is just the energy you give to them, and the
Yeah.
energy that you know what I mean? And that's a really cool live example.
It's so good. And you know what it is, guys? And this is what was it Zig Ziglar, I think, used to call it a writer downer. Is either Earl Nightingale or Zig Ziglar, I can't remember what he say. This is a writer downer. And the writer downer that we teach in Growth Day and all my high performance work is always prioritize momentum over your ego. And that is a huge shift for people because, right, your ego wants to shut down, feel hurt, feel like, this is so unfair. Your ego wants to tell all these stories why you can't. Your ego is, wants to go into protection mode of thinking patterns to protect itself from embarrassment or to protect its turf called your comfort zone, right? The ego's turf is the comfort zone. Oh, that's a writer downer. And so what do you got to do? You got to go, okay, right now, am I going to shut down to protect my ego from embarrassment or comfort zone challenges? Or am I going to prioritize momentum? And if I'm going to prioritize momentum, then that means I'm going to take the next right action of integrity. Even if it's teeny, even if it's just like asking for help, even if it doesn't matter, we're going to move the ball forward. Okay, you suck today. We can't get on Facebook. I could sit here and rail against Facebook and the inhumanity of the social media platforms. Instead, it's like, dang, that didn't work. Jamie's like, let's go on Instagram. Like, let's go. So
Let's go.
Move the ball forward. Write it down. Move the ball forward. Prioritize momentum over ego, and suddenly you're not trapped in that emotional loop of turmoil and outrage that stops you from doing anything productive.
That's huge. Yeah, and I know today is like a shorter Growth Day, but I have so much to share about momentum. This whole week on the Growth Day Morning Show is all about momentum. We usually do a theme every week. And if those of you are just joining us and you're like, oh, Brendon and Jamie are live, we're live every single morning, 7:30.
Every single weekday, y'all.
Every single weekday for the Growth Day Morning Show. And the whole idea is we all come together, bring the joy, share inspiration, share stories, share hope, start our day off with the right mindset. I love when Brendon often drops the most incredible frameworks and real life stories, and we share behind the scenes stuff too. So it's just a beautiful experience. And if you're brand new, make sure to tag someone too that could also tag someone in the comments, because then they'll see this that also could use a boost of inspiration and joy and human connection. Connection all together with like-minded people, right? We don't always have that in our real life or our homes or our jobs, and sometimes just coming together and starting our day off this way sets the whole day up for more joy and more inspiration and more hope. So super grateful to everyone part of the community who hops on live with us every single morning.
Yes, 7:30 a.m. Pacific, y'all. I know, Jamie, you got to hop, so do that. I'm gonna take some questions from people today and just have some fun with you all, because I know we started late, so I'll just chill with people. Jamie's got super interview days for her book. If you have not supported her book, Believe It, please make sure you do that. It is a #1 Wall Street Journal, #1 Amazon debut. It is an unbelievable, life-changing, awesome book. We send it out to our Growth Day community members, and many of them will get copies of that this week. But for those who have supported it, thank you, thank you, thank you. We really appreciate it. Jamie, go crush them. Go keep that momentum up. I'll hang out with the group here.
Okay, good. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.
Okay. Love you, Jamie. Thank you. I'm glad you're home.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. I hope that you guys are taking some inspiration from what we talked about, and you wrote down a few ideas today to support you in your own personal growth. You've got to find that part of you this week. It's midweek, right? This is a great time I call Wednesday is a great ego check day, right? Today, you get to say, oh, hey, what am I about this week? What do I want to achieve this week? What's important to me this week? And have I got stuck this week because I'm discouraged? Have you got stuck because you don't know what to do? Have you got stuck because you feel like you don't know enough? And I'm here to tell you, Wednesday, as they call it, that midweek thing, this is a great time to check. Did you get discouraged Monday or Tuesday? Is it messing up your motivation? And if it is, thank God you have the blessing of choosing your attitude. Thank God you have the blessing of choosing your next right action. Remember, prioritize momentum, not your ego. And as soon as you do that, you're like, Oh, okay, got it. I have momentum. And why does momentum matter? Because your momentum, that's your growth. Your momentum, that's your fulfillment. Your momentum, that is what provides your service and your value to your family, to your friends, to your team. When you keep going, even though it's hard, that's what makes you the role model. When you keep going, even though you're confused, that's what makes you incredible. That's what makes you incredible. And listen, you don't have to do a million things. You got to keep moving. You know, last night I was building we've got the Growth Day page. If you guys been to growthday.com, I pinned it somewhere here. You know, I'm recoding that page. I build my pages, believe it or not. Still, after all these years, I still do almost all the marketing builds for what we do. And, you know, I've been doing this since 2006 or 7 full time. And so I was coding last night till like 1, 2 in the morning. And, you know, I had my famous pot of green tea, and I was just doing the green tea, building the pages, writing all the email copy, getting ready for the launch, doing all that stuff. I know many of you guys do your own personal promotions and your own personal brands. And it's like, it's so many, probably 100 times in 2 or 3 hours session of building this new marketing campaign. I was like, oh, this sucks. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, this, but none of them stopped me from working on it. Meaning there was a million inconveniences. There was a million things I didn't know how to do. There's a million things like, how does this work? What is happening here? Or I'd preview something and the whole page wouldn't show up. You guys all done that if you're built. Like, I couldn't figure things out. I could not figure them out, but I didn't stop. Not figuring it out doesn't mean stop. Not figuring it out means keep working the problem. Remember, Einstein said it's not that he's a genius, it's that he stays on the problems longer than others. If you're bailing on your problems, that's why you're not learning. That's why you're not getting momentum. The problems are there to condition you for higher levels of learning and contribution. Oh, that's why I've got that problem. Higher levels of learning and contribution. What a different way to look at things. So much of what we do in Growth Day is just helping you get encouraged, if that's a word, I have no idea, to empower you with a little bit of a better attitude so that you keep going. You got important things to do in the world, babe. You got lots of places to go. People are counting on you. You've got service in your heart. You've got a big mission. And if you don't know what that mission is, maybe it's your family and your friends. If you know what that mission is, maybe it's caring for that person on the team better. You don't know what that thing is? It's really about you understanding that life is about growth. If you don't know what your purpose is, grow. You'll grow into a purpose, right? It's like, and what you'll realize once you hit your purpose, you thought it was the end all be all. And then you realize there's another new thing and there's another way to develop and grow. And it all comes back to that. These ideas that we can all grow in who we are, grow in our spirituality, grow in how we serve, grow in how we contribute, grow in what we create, grow in our artistry, grow in our communities. That's what's awesome, y'all. That's why I appreciate each of you being part of this Growth Day morning show. If you're totally new here, please make sure you click, I pinned it here on Instagram. Go to growthday.com and get signed up. Yesterday, we had a new Growth Day coach come on, Lisa Bilyeu, who also built a $1 billion brand, and she just smashed it. Her replay will be up by the end of the day. And I'm just here to tell you, like, we've been going with Growth Day since January 1, basically live every single week with new coaches, and it's less than $1 a day. And you've locked in your personal development all year with the world's best personal development experts for less than $1 a day. I know tons of you guys are members. So if you're not, smash that Growth Day pin. Just go to growthday.com. Get yourself signed up because we have a huge, huge thing happen next month. April, guys, I know you've been waiting. We are rolling out the app mid-April to our Growth Day community only. So you got to be signed up at growthday.com. Our members are getting the app for free for a year. It will cost, $300 additional for everybody else. You guys can get in right now just by joining up before we release the app when you sign up at growthday.com. I'm seeing people just give shouts out to Lisa and other people. I mean, it was absolutely, honestly, yesterday's session with Lisa was worth $300. But you get 10 other coaches with you live every week all year for $300. So I had a friend in Growth Day that came on and said, Brendon, what could you spend $300 on that could be more valuable? getting access to the best personal development trainers in the world. Because if your growth isn't worth $300, I'm like, what are you spending $300 on? At the end of the day, it's like the number one most important investment in ourselves is always our growth, our well-being, and our ability to be higher performing in what we do. I mean, that moves the needle in everything. When your growth, well-being, and high performance are all in alignment, you're a better mom. You're a better team leader. You're a better caregiver. You're a better leader. You're a better business titan. I mean, you want to be an influencer? Good luck if you don't care for your growth and your well-being, because you see burnouts all the time. And that's not a judgment. It is it's a calling to you that we all need to be in the personal development game constantly to manage the stresses and disappointments and discouragements of the world. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because there's so many times where, you know, you're just like in a bad place. And what personal development does for you is it's putting the goodness in your ears to rewire those neurons, to get them firing in a new way, to pave over the negativity with some positivity, to help you see a different strategic insight, a new way to overcome an emotional challenge, but also a new way to tactically get more stuff done in a sane way. This is why personal development is so critical. Okay, I'll take some questions. Brendon, who is your coach? Honestly, the Growth Day coaches. So that's one reason I started Growth Day was I do have the privilege of, these are my friends. And I already learned from them. I already do Zoom calls with them. I already have calls and connect with them and on text on the daily. And so what I ended up doing was, part of Growth Day, I said, I'd actually want you guys to come and do coaching. So you've all seen it. If you're on Growth Day with us, I'm there with them. I'm literally taking notes. That's why I saw Lisa's example yesterday. I'm taking notes. I'm there with her the whole time, because I have a whole binder that's just my Growth Day binder. So I'm learning from the Growth Day coaches myself. And so that was like the selfish reason I built Growth Day, with all these diverse voices from all around the personal development and wellness category, so that I could learn from them and have it part of my job. I love having learning as part of my job. That's why I think in 20 years I've achieved so much, is because learning was built into my job. Like, growth has been part of my job. And when that's real for you, you just grow faster. I personally feel like. What tools do you use when you're discouraged and want to go back to bed? Coffee? No. You all know I don't drink a ton of coffee, but when I do, let's go. I haven't had any today. I need to. Let's see. When I feel discouraged, when I want to go back to bed, some of you guys know I have my battle board. A battle board is a board on the wall over here that has all my plans and visions on it, my values on it, but also frameworks for what to do when I lack confidence, frameworks for what I do when I'm not happy, frameworks for what I do when the relationship isn't working, frameworks for what I do when I don't feel productive. And what I do is I just literally, I place myself in front of that board and I look at these things. I listen to some positive music or motivational podcasts, and I'll just stand there for 5-10 minutes, and it will help me reset. Oh, right, that's what's important to me. Oh, that's a framework for confidence. Oh, I don't feel confident. Oh, work through that. I'll feel better. Oh, okay. You know, listening to something positive, a Growth Day coach as an example, it helps me a lot. As you know, many of you guys, I have some unfair advantages. I have the HPX wellness line. So for those who don't have our supplements, you go to hpxwellness.com for our supplements, HPX Wellness. And I have things that help optimize my brain. So I don't experience brain fog or lack of focus that much because I take HPX Optimized. So Optimized is a big secret weapon for me. If I'm struggling, I'll take HPX Boost, which is an organic vegan energy drink that we created. Those things help me a lot. I mean, if I need biological intervention, that's what those really are, right? And then last, I just really focus on, am I being selfish in my fatigue and my discouragement, or can I be of service to people? Servant leadership and the mindset of servant leadership pulls me out of a lot of pits, because just like I talked about earlier, you can prioritize service or you can prioritize ego. You can prioritize, you know, oh, I feel hurt and down and bummed, so I'm going to stop the whole day. I want to let you know, it's totally okay for you to feel hurt, outraged, bummed, exhausted, negative, disappointed. You know, all of these emotional pains are real. So are physical exhaustion. If you feel those things, take the hour to recoup. to recharge, to nap, to meditate. Take the half day off if you have to, whatever. But what I always tell people, daily momentum doesn't have to stop for the whole day. You know, a lot of times I'll go take a 45-minute walk. I'll go, like yesterday, before I did that epic coding session last night, I laid down. I took an hour or 2-hour nap at like 5 p.m. Anyone else ever do that? I laid down. I was out, y'all. I was out. I just laid down and I was out. But you know what was powerful was it reset me. And I didn't feel any guilt. Don't feel guilt about recharging. Don't feel guilt about having a bad moment or negative expression or, you know, feeling angry or outraged about something in a moment. Reset. Get back on your high self. Reset. Get back on your highest self. Don't fret taking a minute for yourself to reset. I think that's what's most important. People feel discouragement. They get so bad and mean to themselves. Give yourself grace. When you sign up for Growth Day, you will see that one of the number one things we emphasize 3 different things in Growth Day. We emphasize your aliveness, we emphasize your connections, meaning your relationships, and we emphasize meaningful pursuits, doing things that you're passionate about, interested in, or feel like is a major contribution or creative endeavor. And we wrap growth around all of that, right? But one of the major things you'll hear everybody talking about, even as we're going for meaningful pursuits, even as we're trying to have great lives, we all talk about the idea of giving yourself grace. If it's a hard day, give yourself some moments of grace, reset, get back on your highest self. That's what you got to do. Get back on your highest self. Okay, I hope you like that. You like that? I'm glad you do. I see you guys. It's like that. Sometimes you just need a few moments to spare to reset yourself, and you're back at it. Get back on your highest self. You know what I'm saying, people? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this session of the Growth Day Morning Show. If you want live coaching tomorrow, we have Jonathan Fields, who is the host of the Good Life Project and a New York Times bestselling author. He is your coach tomorrow if you're a Growth Day member. Growth Day members get Tuesdays and Thursdays live training from one of the world's best personal development teachers, again, for less than $1 a day. Tomorrow is Jonathan Fields, and he's kind of like our Buddha of the Growth Day coaches. He's just wise and thoughtful and like transformational self-awareness stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so good. So he's on tomorrow. Just listening to him calms me down about 4 megawatts and just makes me focus and feel good about life. So I hope you'll join that. Again, I pinned it on Instagram here for you guys joining us today. I appreciate you. So sign up for Growth Day so you get it, right? It's so cool. Remember, if you sign up today, you're going to get the app the whole year free. Current Growth Day members, full members, when you sign up at growthday.com, you're going to get the app for the full year for free, which is insane because the app is going to have all the broadcasts of the live coaching, the replays of the live coaching, and tools for your journaling, your life assessments, your habit scoring and habit tracking. We're going to have weekly and monthly challenges in there for you to stay on your A game in your personal development and leadership. It's huge, 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 huge. So I hope you guys will check that out. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you. Everyone's asking, Kayla's asking, are these teachings recorded and saved? Yes, for members. That's exactly right. You get a members area where all of our work in Growth Day, you can access at your own leisure in the replays. So it's super awesome. If you enjoyed this session or you enjoyed other Growth Day morning sessions, we're starting putting the best ofs up on our Growth Day community members area. Again, all that's just when you sign up for growthday.com. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's always remember today and every day, it's a good day to choose a good attitude. It's a good day to overcome the discouragement. It's a good day to choose momentum over ego. It's a good day to realize you can start over day. Every day is a good day to grow. You are stronger than you think, and the future holds good things for you, my friends. I hope you enjoy your day.